Good morning. Welcome to Thursday. It's like a Friday in South Africa because we have a public holiday coming up. Youth Day tomorrow, which is Friday, so nice long weekend. Probably going to go hike a few times. Spend some time at home after traveling for quite a bit. I have 5 weeks of home time before I head back to Kenya and make it. I'm spending that time to to reaffirm and rework my anchors. You need an anchor. And I spoke to someone yesterday on a Zoom call, and we spoke, and she asked the question of, when I travel as much as I do, how do I keep energy up? How do I keep going? And I said to her, you have to have an anchor. Anchor for me is physical training, physical fitness, health, movement, if you will. It is meditation and journaling. So I've got my protocols, which I do wherever I am. Honestly, the only time over the last couple of months, since the beginning of the year actually, that I didn't do it was on Svalbard once or twice. The timing was bad. It's excuses, I know, but it was tough. But I still did the journaling, I still did the meditation and all those kind of things. An anchor is something that keeps you centered within your own body. Mentally, if you don't take care of your body, it will fuck up your mind. Write that down. It's huge. The reason why people get depressed and anxious and stuff, yes, there's many, but often if you don't do something with your body, your head starts worrying. You need to kind of, it's an anchor. It holds you down instead of your head going all over the place. And I'm going to be speaking about that a whole lot more. But yeah, we spoke about anchors. So I've got 5 weeks before I travel to Kenya, when I head up to Kenya to host 2 great migration safaris and a small private. And over the next 5 weeks, just doubling down on those anchors while you have the time. Training's been going really well, to the point where I couldn't move this morning. But I love that. I think it's probably a bit of a masochist if you train hard, and that feeling of, oh my God, I can't get out of bed. It's great. I love it. So I'm training this afternoon, easy one, and then hiking this weekend because it's a long weekend in South Africa. Youth Day tomorrow. We also spoke about change. And the topic of change came up a few times for me this week. It was with this one person, which in due course I'll share more details. But we're looking to run 1, possibly 2 trips next year, which is focused on change. It's not a photographic trip. It's a lifestyle and change, and call it a life coaching, if you will. But within that realm, going to touch on everything from change to perceived stresses, to anxiety, to depression, to resilience, to confidence, all of those things, put it together into like a 7 to 8 day trip somewhere in the wild. And you pull all the pieces together from there. And change came up as well a little while ago, in that I was speaking to a client, and you get this change cycle. It's called the cycle of change, or the change cycle. And you have a good idea, you start executing it, you keep executing it, you hit a snag, and then you go into a dark place, which, what do we call it? It's like a sea of despair or a dark lake or something. But it's called regression. You go backwards. And what normally happens then is, if you don't break out of it somehow, and accountability is a big deal here, if you don't break out of it, you go back to the ideation stage, and then you keep looping around. And you've got all these ideas, and you think you're changing, but you're actually staying on the spot, which is not very conducive to change, right? You need to get out of that regression stage and not jump back to ideation, but rather go over into executing. So the change topic has come up a few times this week for me with people, not intentional, it just happened. So that was a couple of interesting conversations. Like I said, the weekend it's a long weekend in South Africa, so that's pretty cool. It feels like a Friday today. Oh, I also just put out a new podcast on my own personal podcast. The idea is to once a day, in the mornings when I get in, to do something short. Today's one's 4 minutes 40, right? And the idea is just to give you some food for thought for the day, something to try, something to think about, hopefully add some value, inspire, whatever the case is. Yesterday, spoke a bit about, oh my God, as I said that I knew, I couldn't remember what it was. But yesterday was? God, go check it out. It's episode 63. Oh, you're allowed to be happy. That's yesterday. You're allowed to be happy because we compare our happiness to other people, but you don't know their story. And happiness shouldn't be a competition. Yeah. Today I did a short piece on what you can and cannot control. I think one of the things that messes the most people up is the fact that they try and control everything in their life. you will never be able to control everything in your life. Never. It's just one of those things. You can control you, your thoughts, your behavior, your spouse, your child, your coworkers, the people on the road, anybody else. You cannot control them. And then same with certain situations. You can take the best care of yourself. You can have all your anchors in place: meditation, protocols, nutrition, supplements, fitness, cardiovascular, everything, and you can still get sick from something. Yeah, so you can't control everything. So go and listen to the podcast. It's up on all the all your favorite podcasting platforms. Just search for my name, you'll find it there. I'm going to do those every morning. What else? There was another thing I thought of yesterday. I had another conversation with someone. Yesterday was a lot of Zooms, so just picking pieces here. Travel coming up. So confirmed, if you are in Chicago, then I'm going to be there from 17th to 20th of October. 2 workshops going on: Secret Life of Animals 2.0 and the Ultimate Nature Photography Workshop. Now, what that is it's 3 parts. It's taking a photographic trip, whether for landscape or for wildlife, and we're dividing it into before, during, and after. And before, I'm going to go through everything: how to plan your travels, how to plan your packing, how to travel, what to look for when you travel, how to prep your cameras, how to prep your Lightroom catalog, and. During, what happens during? You are going to have to look at daily downloads, how to make the most of the experience, how to use cameras in different ways to create different things. And then after, when you get back, how to everything, clean your cameras, look at the next trip, make sure everything's backed up, how to process, what to do with your images. So I'm very psyched for that one. That's from the 17th to the 20th of October. From there, Boston for a couple of presentations, then to New York. Exact details still to follow, but if you're keen to meet up, let me know. Yeah, I think that's it for now. I know there's something else I wanted to talk about, but it's fucking gone now. I've been very busy since I've been back, and heads all over the place, but in a good way. I remember a couple of days ago I spoke about the white whale. It's that goal that you have that is more than likely unattainable. I found this white whale that's fucking with me. It's messing with my head, man. Badly. I don't want to... when... I don't want to say anything yet, because then you speak it into existence, and I get all of that. It's not manifesting. Manifesting is bullshit. I can't just, it's going to happen. You have to do the work, right? Don't send me messages because of that. I know a lot of people believe in manifesting, but you can't just manifest and things happen on its own. Different discussion, other time. But I found this whale, and even just the thought of it scares me. Like, I'm talking, like, I have this conversation in my head about I'm not sure I can do this. Even the thought of it. And then last night, I did a bit of a deep dive research-wise. And I'm going to research the shit out of this thing. But I watched a video about someone who has done that thing that I'm thinking about. And you just watch the thing and you think, I can't do this. But that's the point, isn't it? Therein lies the challenge. So, yeah, my white whale's messing with my head a little bit, but we'll get there. In due course, I'll share this. Anyway, okay, I'm going to go. I have work to do. Might record over the weekend. Otherwise, I might go on a hiking. I'll do a hiking one. Yes. Hope you guys have a good one and have a good weekend. Bye. Oh, don't forget to be awesome. Bye for now.